If you're deploying your Web3 NFT staking application in Polygon or any other blockchain that is not Ethereum, let's use Moralis API to display the NFT pictures along with the stake and unstake button. So we did that with the Ethereum blockchain, but now it's time to adapt the Web3 dApp to use Moralis API to give us the same functionality if we deploy the smart contracts using any other blockchain. In this video, I am going to work with the Polygon blockchain. Let's go ahead. I decided to do this video because I saw a lot of comments in regards to not being able to properly pull data from OpenSea if the smart contract, the NFT smart contract, was deployed in another blockchain that was not Ethereum. Okay, I got you. Don't worry. We're going to fix this on this video. So what I'm going to do, I am going to leverage Moralis to get us the same information that we were pulling from OpenSea if we were deploying the NFT collection from the Ethereum blockchain. So if you deployed the NFT collection using Polygon or any other blockchain, this video will help you out, get you the output and sort the NFTs on the Web3 dApp so then you can have stake and unstake on each one, okay? We will basically have the same output, okay? So what I'm going to do, number one, we are going to register ourselves, get an account in Moralis. We will obtain an API key, and then we will modify the ReactJS config to show how to integrate Moralis API and pull the data that we need so then we can properly render the objects on the Web3 dApp. We are still going to use AXIOS. Moralis has its own NPM package or utility that we can use, and that's what they are suggesting. But in this case, I don't want to change the configuration that we have done so far. What we can do is just modify a couple of things so we can still use AXIOS. So the configuration changes will be minimal. Alrighty? Let's go ahead and let's make this happen. Okay, let's continue this party. So to help everyone that is having this issue, so what we want to do on this video is literally allow a blockchain that is not Ethereum to display this. Integrate staking smart contracts and NFT smart contract and display or allow our dApp to retrieve the objects, add the token IDs or the NFT IDs, and get the stake and unstake mapped to each item. And the reason why we're doing this is because OpenSea is not supporting Polygon blockchain to get us that output, because we're feeding this right now using OpenSea API. Don't worry, we got a fix. And we are going to use Moralis. So Moralis, if you go back into one of my previous videos, I discussed Moralis and what it's the benefit of private nodes. The benefit of private nodes is that it will expedite the rollout of your application without too much coding, because they already did the hard work of getting that information out and indexing it so that we can use API to make calls, okay? And that's one of the features that Moralis, and not only Moralis, but other platforms that offer private node services can offer to you, okay? But in this case, I'm using Moralis, all right? So we have to make sure that this works in Polygon, okay? So how do we do this? The first thing that I obviously did, and I'm gonna go right now, obviously I deployed a staking smart contract. I deployed the ERC-721 NFT collection smart contract in Polygon. So you must have that already deployed. All your contracts must be running in Polygon. So if we go to Polygon scan and we want to go to Mumbai, actually, because we're doing testnet, and if I paste my contract address, I already deployed this contract and in Polygon, so it's running on the testnet. So we should be able to display the information right here, okay? So right now, if I go to the NFT collection, there's only 3 NFTs minted. So we should only see 3 NFTs here, and this is showing 8 NFTs because this is the Ethereum one, okay? Also, we want to make sure that we can also update this to use the Polygon Scan API to get the amount of tokens minted so far. So we have to do two things. Create an account and register in Polygon Scan so that we can request an API key so we can display this. And the configuration literally is the same as Ethereum. We are not making any changes as far as the syntax in AXIOS to allow this to happen on Polygon. We just need to make sure that we change the endpoint, API endpoint, to point to Polygon Scan, in this case the Mumbai testnet Polygon API, and make sure that we have a key that we can use to perform the call. Okay, awesome. And we also have to open an account in Moralis and request an API key, and we're going to review Moralis real quick and see what that's for. So the first thing you want to do, let's create an account in Polygon Scan. And what you want to do is you want to go under API keys. So you want to go to polygonscan.com, register an account, go under API keys, and then generate an API key. Okay, so once you get that, right, the next thing we need to do is we have to also register in Moralis. Okay, so we're just going to register in Moralis. I'm going to use my email. Okay, so once we're in, you want to click Web3 API. Okay, and it's going to show you, this is what I love about Moralis, is the fact that they made everything very intuitive, very easy to navigate. Okay, so we need to copy the API key, okay, because we need to use that API key as well, our React configuration. Okay, but first I want to show you how the Moralis API dashboard looks like. They actually give you the path of a particular get function, post, etc. So in our case, what we're looking for, we are looking to get the tokens in the smart contract. Okay, so I believe this will be the call that we need, which it says, and we can read right here. So this one, NFT, and then this will be the contract address variable. Okay, so this is basically replaced with your contract address, the NFT smart contract address. So it says retrieve the unique NFTs inside a given contract. That's exactly what we need. Okay, so if we open this, it actually gives you the information that you need to make sure that you add on the call so that we can point to the right source. Okay, so in this case, you can see here that we can use Polygon, we can use BSC, Avalanche, Phantom, etc. So in our case, we're working with the Mumbai. So in the chain, under the chain, and you're going to see that now, we need to specify that this is a call to the Mumbai testnet. The API call knows exactly what information to retrieve. Okay. Also, they're saying, hey, give me the format of the token ID. In this case, we want to make sure that we set decimal. They give you some parameters, like if you want to filter output by a certain limit, you can do it. But what is mandatory, absolutely and obviously, the NFT smart contract address. And this will be the ERC721 NFT smart contract that you minted in this case, Polygon, in my case, Mumbai, the testnet. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. So once we get that, what we need to do, we are going to go to our good old Visual Studio Code, and we are going to work with our app.js file. Because we are changing ourselves from Etherscan to Polygon, that will be step one, so we can display the amount of tokens. Obviously, the first thing you want to do, you have to make sure that the NFT smart contract that you add here as the address will be the Polygon NFT smart contract. Okay, so we're just going to paste that. That is the address of the smart contract in Polygon, in my case, Mumbai. Okay, next thing I have to do, obviously you have to make sure that you have a staking smart contract deployed in Polygon as well, or in Mumbai. Now I need to change this API key to the one in the Polygon scan. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that, because this is the API key. And by the way, I should do a better job at naming my constant better. So in this case, it says Polygon scan API key. Okay. Now this will be Polygon scan. Remember, before it was Etherscan because it was Ethereum. Now we're changing. Polygon scan API. This is the name. You can assign anything, but in this case, it makes more sense to label it this way. We no longer need the OpenSea API. So what we are going to do instead, we're going to replace this with Moralis API. Okay, let's replace the name. Awesome. Now what we need to do, we need to retrieve the new address. Let's find in Moralis what's the API address, and let's also find in Polygon scan what's the API address. Okay, so let's go on to those. So what I can do, as a matter of fact, I can just try it out here. You can see I can actually try it out. So I'm going to select Mumbai, and then let me find my smart contract address. Okay, so this is my smart contract. I'm going to copy it, and we're going to execute and see how that goes. Beautiful. So we're getting data. This is what the information that we're looking for. Okay, awesome. This is the request URL. Okay, so very important. We want to make sure that we get all the way to, this will be, I call it the base API URL. And then after that, it's basically the options. And you can see all the options that I have. So in this case, NFT, /address, etc. So I want to make sure that I can code the application so then if I want to just add a different call, I can still use the same base URL, but then everything else, I can change it accordingly. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy the base URL, and it's just going to be, I believe, up to here. And we want to replace this because we were using OpenSea. Beautiful. Now this will be the address in Moralis. Okay. We want to find out the Polygon scan address. Let's go back. API, resources, API documentation. You click here, endpoint URLs, and we are working with this one right here. So you see here, this is the normal one, but then if I want to use the testnet, I believe it's testnet. Right? Yeah, API-testnet, but make sure that you add /API, okay? So you want to do /API because this is just the base address, okay? So we're going to copy this, and we are going to replace this one. And as a matter of fact, should be the new call. Awesome. So now we got both Polygon scan API and Moralis API. Now let me get the API key from Polygon scan onto my account. API keys, copy this. Okay, now let's go back. Awesome. So now we got all the base information except the Moralis API key, but I'm going to show you because we have to do something different here. Okay, why we need to store this separately? Because I still need to have a Moralis API key, but I cannot use the same fashion as I did for Polygon scan, because with Polygon scan, I just need to add the variable at the end, and I gotta copy this because this is an API base address, and we have to replace that in the call because we had a very generic name, and we decided to label it correctly. Now we got Polygon scan API, and then everything else will just be appended. And then now this has to be replaced with Polygon scan API key. And if we make sure, if we hover over it, you can see that it's resolving to the API key. So that's awesome. If we hover over the NFT contract, there you go. You see the Polygon NFT smart contract. Now, here comes the fun part. We also got Moralis, but we don't have the API stored here. We have to do it in a different location. And the reason why we have to do it is because we need to send the headers. Moralis is expecting a header with the authentication key instead of just appending the key to the actual HTTP URL. This is a different way of calling, but no worries. It's very straightforward. What I need to do, I need to create another entry, right? But check this out. Moralis API key equals, close it. And inside here, we're going to paste the Moralis API key. So I'm going to go back and let's go here. And if we go all the way to the top, you're going to see copy API key and select default. And we should get that output copy to clipboard. That means that we copied the address. Okay, now let's paste it right here. So this is the API key for Moralis. We're going to copy this, okay? Because this is the constant name that we have to call down in AXIOS. But first, we need to do the following. This is slightly different, but not that big of a deal, okay? So we have to set a parameter that will be used to send the API key to authenticate ourselves to the API call. Replace this with Moralis API. Okay, and if we hover over it, it's resolving to the API URL. So after we're done with this, we have to change this path because this is no longer going to OpenSea. This is going to Moralis. So we have to make sure that we're pointing to the right source of the call that we want to get the output from. So let's go back. And if you can see here, when I've executed this, did a test execution, it generated this full URL. And we know that we already provided all this. What we need to provide at the end, it's all this right here, right? So let's go ahead and copy that. And let's go ahead and paste everything. And okay, so I got everything pasted. And one thing that you want to do is you want to call the object that we created. So how do we do it? We just use this. This is actually pointing to the address accordingly. Okay, awesome. I believe we also have to get the owners. So 1 second, because we also have to display who is owning the NFT. So for that, I believe there is one that includes the owner. Here we go, this one. Let's use this one, which will give us the token ID and the owners. We need those two items, okay? And that's fine. We already got the call from the other one. We just need to add this and we should be good to go, okay? So with that said, we can just go ahead and I have everything all formatted, okay? So we are basically calling the path NFT, address, and then owners. Okay, so if you go back onto Moralis, you're going to see NFT, address, owners. So we're following the same path. Chain Mumbai, right? Because we want to pull data from the Mumbai testnet and then format this to be a decimal output. So then the token IDs are displayed in decimal value. Okay. Cool. One last thing that we have to do, we have to send that header. Moralis is expecting an authentication key. And how are we going to do that? We are going to map the authentication key that we configure as a constant and we store the value inside and the accept application JSON. How do we do that? We'll just go ahead right here and we're going to open type headers. And this is a function inside AXIOS that knows that it needs to send a header because it's expecting, some header requests, okay? So what we need to do is we need to create that particular config or command that is going to use AXIOS so then it can pull the data from this config let that we just configured and it includes the API key and everything else, okay? This is it. We got now Polygon scan API. So we can get the token supply or how many NFTs have been minted. And then we got Moralis API to get us the token IDs and the owner information so that we can generate that output that we had with Ethereum, okay? So we got the headers, awesome. One last thing that we have to do and we are done. Let's go back onto Moralis. I'm gonna show you something quick. So when you want to retrieve something out of the smart contract, as a matter of fact, I'm going to do the call here. Let me take advantage of this. I want to make sure that this is Mumbai, decimal, and then the address. I want to execute the call, and now we got the call out. So this is what we need to get. We need to get owner of and token ID. Those two outputs are the ones that we need to populate in order for us to get that output on React, okay? So knowing this, the information that we are going to get from will be from result. So let's go into React and see what I'm talking about. So from result, I need to get token ID and I need to get owner of, that will be the owner wallet, okay? And this is the owner of the NFTs, okay? So let's go back, let's go here. Now that we have this, I had assets because that's the output that was retrieved from OpenSea. Now we need to change this to be results. This will be the parent API directory, and then from there we got all the options that we want to call, okay? So in this case, let's go back just to be safe. You see it right here? This will be a result. So we have to change from assets to results. So we're expecting that, and then we can also change results, okay? Done. Now let's go into HTML. Okay, and let's modify, make sure that we also change this to be results. Okay, so now we know that we're telling the app, hey, expect from results and then the information that we want. If we go inside the actual HTML objects, in this case, this is the function to stake it. So this is what we should be populating. So then we know that we can hit the button and it maps to the right token ID. Okay, so in this case, I had to change this to result. No, result, single, it's singular, not plural. And this could throw you off. Okay, so let me make sure that this is singular. Let's go down and make sure that this is singular. Result, singular. Okay, now make sure that this is singular. Result. And the last thing is the owners. In OpenSea, you had a sub menu or a sub option inside the JSON output. But in this case, we don't have that. We just need to make sure that we have the proper name of that particular call, which is owner underscore of. If you want to confirm, go here, owner underscore of. Go back, go here, and now we have to change this to be result and save and cross fingers. Let's Control S. Let's go back and see how that looks. And moment of truth. So we're getting an error. Assets is not defined. So there's something still tied to assets. We have to fix that. So let's see result. Oh, there we go. Assets. There's two actually. Result and then result. And let's go ahead. Control S. Let's go again. That looks good. That looks good. There you go. There you go. So what do we have? 3 NFTs minted. Correct. On the Polygon blockchain smart contract, we got 3 NFTs minted and we only have 3 NFTs displayed with the owner wallet. There you go. Okay. Alrighty. There you have it. We have successfully integrated Moralis Web3 API service with our NFT staking application. And we were able to pull the information we needed to create that dynamic map so we can generate the NFT pictures, the NFT squares or cards, and provide the stake and unstake button to each NFT asset, along with the owner wallet information. The same thing that we did with the Ethereum blockchain, we have done it with Polygon using Moralis API. Alrighty, that's it for this video. I hope you liked this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.